Standard Triumph, determined to get in on the act, launched the Standard 8 2 years later. At only £480, the Standard 8 offered few refinements. It was smaller and even more basic than the Morris. It had no ignition key, just a switch, and it didn't even have a boot lid. You got to the boot by folding down the rear seats. In an amazing piece of marketing, potential buyers were told that this was an advantage, as it was dust and rainproof. Pauline Hutchinson's boyfriend Peter was the proud owner of an 8, and Pauline learnt to drive in it.
You clutch up slowly, very fighting. That's it.
He actually learned in a Standard 8, which is, I think, the same year as this particular one.
Okay.
I found it very difficult at first.
Pauline hasn't seen a Standard 8 for over 30 years, let alone driven one. But Peter, now her husband, remembers what teaching her was like.
Keep going. That's it.
Coming down a steep hill on a sharp corner when the road was wet, she spun the car round, facing the wrong way, but
I was sitting there and he was saying, "Move!"
How on earth she did it with a car like this, I don't know.
By the late 50s, more and more women like Pauline were driving the family car. The market was expanding, with over 500,000 new cars being bought every year.
Latest models at Earl's Court include a new range of Ford estate cars. For safety, a belt is one answer. It also stops the girlfriend getting away.
But manufacturers still thought of the girlfriend or wife as just a passenger.
Quiet, please. Light.
It was as if a woman would never be seen driving the family car.
Fine.
So when Standard Triumph replaced the 8 with the Triumph Herald, it was launched as a car for men.
Relax. That's all for the moment, thank you, Wendy. I'd like you in the driving seat for the next one, please, Giles. Have your hands on the wheel, Giles. Oh, hold it like that. That's fine.
Giles got to sit in the driving seat. Wendy never got a look in. She was meant to be satisfied with something to hang her cardie on.
Oh, look, they've even got coat hooks.
I like the style of it. It was so modern and new. And it was so pretty.
But Pauline saw the Herald as her kind of car.
They had lovely colour schemes for them. Some had like a white flash along the side. Some were two-tone like this one. Pretty colours. I think this is more of a lady's car than the Standard 8 was. And it was quite eye-catching, and you really felt nice driving it.
The Herald's looks were all due to one man, an Italian designer called Michelotti. He had redesigned the TR3 sports car for Triumph and was brought onto the Herald project when their in-house design team failed to come up with the goods. Michelotti sketched the Herald's unmistakable lines in minutes.
I don't think anybody at Standard Triumph sat down and said, look, let's design a car for women. They designed a car which would certainly have an appeal to women, but I don't think that even they realised at the very outset the level of appeal that the car was going to have. It very quickly became a woman's car. In order to make the car appeal to women more, every car that was sold to a woman would have a bouquet of flowers and a lipstick provided. And I think the company thought this was a marvellous idea until one of the director's wives politely pointed out to her husband that lipstick was not just any old lipstick, because women like to have different shades of lipstick. And I think the company had just about signed a contract order for about 5 million sets of lipstick, all the same colour, so that would have gone over a bit like a lead brick. But that was the thinking. They were going to target women as a separate market.
Pauline and her husband both worked for Standard Triumph.
It was mainly new models that I was involved with. The updates of the Triumph Herald, the 1250 and the Vitesse. They'd come into the office and say, will you just come and sit in this car and see if your legs can reach to the pedals and things like that.
It wasn't just being able to reach the pedals that women liked about the Herald.
It was comfortable, I liked the driving position. You could see very clearly where your front was because you had these shaped headlamps. You could park them very easily and manoeuvre them in small parking spaces.
Like the Morris, the Herald was an easy car to drive. It had a turning circle comparable to a London taxi.
"25 feet, the turning circle, it's fantastic. We had a lot of fun with the Triumph Herald. Took it on the continent and went camping. We had one of the first ones and then we changed them. We had about 6, I think, in total. We used to change them every year.